We are the home of the stars here on BBC Coventry and Warwickshire. Obviously, we're friends with Bob Brotley, but we've had everyone on this show. Johnny Vegas, Meatloaf, Brian May, and now another bona fide star. It's Dave Bartram, former lead singer of Showaddywaddy. He's got a new book coming out, The Boys of Summer, which has a look at how music's changed since the 70s, and he should know, because, of course, Showaddywaddy's celebrating their 40th anniversary with a big tour this year. Afternoon, Dave.
Good afternoon. I was fascinated by your previous item about the lady falling off the loo.
I know. Well, no, it's her husband fell off those photos.
Her husband fell off the... I just thought of a song for it.
Go on.
Hi Lily, hi Lou. How's that?
That works beautifully.
That's a bad start, and it's downhill all the way from now.
Oh dear. Don't. Oh, shall we give up and go home, Dave? How do you fall off a toilet and break your ankle?
That's one of the more interesting news items. I know the Pope's abdicated today, but I think that actually topped it.
I think it does. It does for me. It does for me, Dave. Listen, it's lovely to speak to you. And the last time we spoke to you, you were exclusively telling us, I think in your first interview since it was announced, that you were leaving Showaddywaddy as the lead singer.
I know.
Unbelievable.
It seems eons ago now. It's just over a year.
Is that all it's been? It does feel like ages ago, doesn't it?
It was the end of 2011. I did my final show on December the 3rd, 2011, and I'm thoroughly enjoying life and enjoying writing, and I've really got the writing bug. So, actually, as we're on to Coventry, my publishers, Phantom, are actually based in Coventry.
Are they?
Yeah, they are indeed, and they're a great bunch of guys, and they're doing a great job for me.
Oh, well, that's nice to know. Well, when we spoke to you, you said you just kind of, you realised the end had come, but you're still the manager of the band. Is that not a bit strange, sort of still being part of it and not being part of it?
Well, I'd worn two hats for many, many years. I actually took over the reins of management in 1984, so I've got a little bit of experience under my belt. But I always thought it was quite peculiar, because I'd be talking to some people wearing my manager's hat, and they would not realise that they were talking to the singer of the band, and it was quite amusing at times, because people were saying all sorts of things. Oh, I used to fancy him and all that sort of stuff. And, this was the blokes, you know.
It's nice that you're unisexual, Dave. It's nice to have that appeal.
Yeah, but the management, I've always enjoyed sort of the thrill of the deal, and of course, I didn't like to see other people dipping into the pot either. Neither did any of the boys.
Yeah, so you keep it in family. But, I mean, being the lead singer means the spotlight's very much on you. Now, all of a sudden, you've got to see somebody else in your spotlight. How does that feel?
No, it doesn't bother me in the least. I think Andy, who has replaced me, is doing a great job. He's, a lot of people said he had tough shoes to fill, but he's done it with aplomb.
Oh.
Hats off to him.
So he's on the tour now as the lead singer, and it's the 40th year of Showaddywaddy. That
it is indeed.
Must make you blink a bit. 40 years. It's enormous.
It doesn't make me blink, it makes me feel old.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
But then again, the Stones are in their 50th year, so I suppose Showaddywaddy are babies, really.
I guess so, but I suppose it's because of my age. You're as old as me. Let's say that. So, but it doesn't feel like 5 minutes ago. The 60s, when the Stones were around, that was ages ago. But the 70s, that was only yesterday. It's gone in the blink of an eye.
It's sort of quite in vogue, isn't it, the 70s? And I think that keeps that era very much alive. And I think people hark back to the 70s because it was an era when people didn't take themselves too seriously. In spite of having similar problems to what we've got today, with a lot of strikes, and people were penniless, and there were a lot of sort of union problems and all that sort of stuff. People had a smile on their face, and they didn't take life too seriously. honestly, and I think we look back and we smile when we think of the 70s.
I read, I don't know if you've read it, Noddy Holder's autobiography, and he was talking about how glam rock, particularly, was a kind of antidote to the dreadful social circumstances we were experiencing in the early 70s. And like you say now, times haven't changed all that much. Things are a bit rough again now. Is it time to maybe sort of bring back a sense of humour to music?
It would be nice. One thing, I love modern music, don't get me wrong, but I look at a lot of performers that I see on TV, and they don't seem to be enjoying themselves, and that bugs me, because you should be up there. It's a privilege to be out there playing to all these people, either on TV or on a stage, and you should be getting a hell of a buzz from it. If you're not, to my mind, you're in the wrong game.
Give it up. It should be something you do. And presumably you've enjoyed it then for the last 40 years.
Oh, well, I wouldn't have continued. To do it for 38 years takes some stamina, but it also takes a lot of love. And it's been very, very kind to me. My rock and roll career has been just wonderful. And I feel privileged to be sat here saying, here I am, and I'm writing books about it, and it's been a blast.
So you've written a book, The Boys of Summer, and it's all about, well, the sort of beginnings onwards, is it, of Showaddywaddy?
Believe it or not, The Boys of Summer is not. I have actually currently writing a second book which covers the entire sort of 40 years and all the early days, and even harking back to my childhood when I sort of first tinkled a piano. But The Boys of Summer concentrates on a 10-week tour that took place in 2005, long after the band's sort of glory days, so to speak. And we found ourselves doing 33 caravan parks, the length and breadth of Great Britain. And,
wow.
Well, basically, what could go wrong did go wrong, and it was we dropped our guard, and I think figuring that we'd done a lot of successful holiday camp gigs, a la Butlins and Pontins, that kind of thing. The facilities at these camps left a little bit to be desired, and it was a bit of a disaster.
Why start there? It seems like an odd place. If you're sort of cutting your writing teeth, it would have made sense, wouldn't it, to do a full history of your life and your life with Showaddywaddy. It seems like an odd place to start.
Well, I didn't really think there was enough mass interest in a biography about me. Okay, I fronted the band for all those years, and there's a lot of people very interested in my career, and obviously a lot of fans have bought the book already. But whilst we were doing this tour, we were about 3 or 4 days in, and I said to one of the guys, do you know, this would make an amazing fly-on-the-wall documentary. And I started recording the events, diarising the daily events. And by the time we'd done a couple of weeks, I just couldn't believe all this material I'd got. And I thought, well, it's not going to be a fly-on-the-wall documentary. I'm going to write a book about it. And it motivated me into making, obviously, a lot of notes. And I wasn't sure at the time whether I had the confidence to write. But once I started and the words started flowing, I found that I was loving it. And I thought, well, it's really quite amusing, for someone to perceive that, having fronted a rock and roll band for 30-odd years, that I had a wonderful lifestyle. Well, here was the unglamorous side.
Well, yeah, I can only begin to imagine the hell that you went through on a 33-day tour of those campsites. It must have been terrifying. And you said now you're tackling a sort of more conventional biography of your time with the band and about you.
Yeah, indeed, and there's stories in there about Coventry as well, I hasten to add. There's always been a little bit of a rivalry between Leicester and Coventry.
Well, there has, yes, yes.
Well, I'm broaching it in my second book.
Oh, well, we'll look forward to reading about that. I think it must be a deep-seated jealousy because you have 6 fingers on your gloves. I think that's what it is, and we just have the 5, Dave.
Oh, it's not a jealousy.
No, I'm sure it's not. Listen, can you do me a favour? Would you mind? There's a chap I know called Del, right? right, Derek.
Oh,
and,
boy.
yes, and he loves you. He loves Showaddywaddy. He thinks you're the bee's knees and has done for years and years and years, going back to the very beginning. So I wonder if you'd be so kind as to give him a quick hello this afternoon.
Well, I've got to say, hello, Del Boy. I hope you're very, very well, and thank you for all your support for so many years, now that you're celebrating your 95th.
He pretty much is now. Your fans do love you, though, don't you? There's a real sort of strong community amongst your fans. Do you have names for them? Showaddywaddians? Or something?
Not really. We used to call the female fans Wadettes.
Oh, nice.
But we did have names for the male ones, but I don't think they can be fit for broadcast.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that, Dave. No. We have a burgeoning friendship, I feel, despite you coming from Leicester. So let's not spoil that. Listen, it's been a real pleasure to speak to you this afternoon, and I can't wait to read the book, The Boys of Summer. It's out now. And when's the next one coming out? Have you got a sort of date in mind?
The Boys of Summer is only officially released on the 1st of Feb, so I'm not running before I can walk, and I hope people enjoy the band's experiences and can laugh and cry along with us after reading The Boys of Summer.
We shall sob. We shall sob. And we'll look forward to seeing Showaddywaddy as they go on their tour. It's just started, hasn't it? And you're coming to Leamington Assembly, I think, is the closest date, on the 15th of March.
Banbury as well. That's not too far.
Oh, that's not too far. Yeah. Well, we don't mind travelling for Showaddywaddy. That's allowed. That's fine. Listen, Dave, thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure to speak to Dave Bartram. And if you'd like to know more about the book and also the band's tour and what have you, the best place to go is the Showaddywaddy official website, or you can buy the book on the Phantom Films website, phantomfilms.co.uk.